Alright, my little math friends, we are moving on to the next part of Chapter 8. We are going to actually be drawing an object using a scale. So, you may be excited. If you're someone that likes to draw, this may be a good lesson for you. Alright, so drawing something to scale. So let's take a look at the first thing that we're going to draw a scale model of. Here we have our math book. Okay, and the actual size of our math book is 8.5 inches by 10 1/8 inches. Okay, and I've made this actual picture on my screen. It may not show up on your screen as 8.5 by 10 1/8 inches, but when I put a ruler on my screen, it actually comes out to the exact same size. So that way we can see what it is that we get when we make a scale drawing of this. Okay, you are going to need a ruler, or if you don't have a ruler, a tape measure will work so that you can do these notes, because we're actually going to be drawing something to scale. Okay, so how to draw an object to scale. Let's read through this and then we will figure out what we're going to do. The dimensions of our math book is shown below. I just talked about that. Draw a model of our math book using the scale. 1 inch is going to equal 2 inches. Okay, so same thing like we talked about yesterday. Here is our scale drawing, and here is our scale actual. Okay, now you may remember from yesterday we were given a scale drawing, and then we had to find the scale actual, like the actual size of it based on the dimensions of the drawing. Okay, and to do that, we basically just multiplied. Okay, and that would give us our scale drawing. Now we're going backwards. We are given the scale actual. Okay, and we are going to turn it into a scale drawing. So just like we're kind of switching around doing the opposite, we're going to do the opposite of multiplying. We're going to be dividing to make our scale drawing. Okay, so let's take a look at this. 1 inch of the scale drawing equals 2 inches of the scale actual. Okay, when we draw this out. So here's the one side of our math book, 8.5 inches. So what we need to do is take 8.5 inches and divide that by 2 inches. Alright, and we can't really use, we're going to have to work with the fractions on this. Okay, we can turn them into decimals, but it's kind of a weird process when we do that. So we're going to work on dividing fractions. Okay, so we're going to get the size of the first side that we need when we draw this out. So let's take our 8 1/2, and we're going to divide that by 2 inches. So we're just going to make it, we got to make it fractions, so 2 over 1. Alright, now when dividing fractions, we got to turn this into an improper fraction. So 8 times 2 plus 1, we're going to get 17 over 2. And then we're going to multiply, and remember, we got to flip the second fraction around, so that's going to be 1 over 2. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and multiply this. 17 times 1 is 17. 2 times 2 is 4. We get an improper fraction. Now we're going to convert this back into inches. So 17 over 4. 4 goes into 17 4 times, and we're left with 1/4. Okay, this is going to be the size on your ruler when you draw the math book. This top side, the width of our math book is going to be 4 1/4 inches. Okay? Now let's take a look at what the other side is going to be. This actual side is 10 1/8. We're going to divide 10 1/8 by 2 to find out what our actual size, what our scale drawing size is going to be. So we're going to take 10 1/8 divided by 2. We got to make it 2 over 1. Turn this into fractions. Now we just need to go through and make this improper. Same steps as above. 8 times 10 plus 1. 81 over 8. Multiply. Flip that baby around. You got 1 over 2. Now we're going to go ahead and multiply that out. We get 81 over 16. Improper fraction. Let's make it into something that we can work with our drawing. You got to divide 16 into 81. Now you can't use a calculator on this one because it's going to get you a decimal number. And I'm sorry guys, we want fractions, so you're going to have to divide this out the long ways when you get to this tomorrow. I already did it. 16 goes into 81 5 times. And then we have 1. Our remainder is 1. and then we're going to keep 16 on the bottom. So this side of the math book of our scale drawing is going to be 5 1/16 inches. The other side is going to be 4 1/4 inches. Okay, so now I'm going to draw that out. I have a ruler here with me, but you guys are not going to be able to see the ruler when I put it here on the screen. But I want you guys to be able to do the same thing with your ruler. Okay, so I'm going to draw the 10 1/8 inch side first, but I'm going to use the scale drawing. So I'm going to draw it 5 1/16 inches. Okay, so 5 1/16 inches is right there for me. Okay, now you guys may need to do a little review on how to read a ruler. Either talk to me, talk to your parents at home, because we're going to be using this the next couple days working with these scale drawings. Okay, so there's my one side. This is 5 1/16 inch. Now I'm going to have the other side of the book here. I'm going to go across the top and I'm going to draw my 4 1/4 inch line. Okay, try and make it as perfectly as a square as you can, like as much of a 90-degree angle right there as you can. This is my 4 1/4 inch line. Now we can just kind of draw the other one straight down to make that. I mean, it's not going to make a perfect rectangle, but do the best you can. Okay, 5 1/16. Now I just can connect these two using my ruler again. And there's the actual scale drawing of our math book. Alright? That's the only example I have for you guys, because it's really not that difficult of a concept. It just takes practice drawing this. So I have one try this problem for you guys. See how you do on your own. And then we will see what I get for an answer and we'll compare the two. Alright, here is your try this problem. A rectangular workshop has the dimensions of 60 feet by 48 feet. I want you to create a scale drawing of the worksheet using the scale factor 1 inch on your drawing is going to represent 12 feet of your building. Okay, go ahead and try this, see how you do, hit play, and we'll take a look at what you got for a drawing.